Sometimes a person can be so attached to their home that even when they die, they still won't move out. And that can cause all kinds of trouble for whoever moves in next. Halfway between Cleveland and Toledo sits the small town of Clyde, Ohio. Real estate agent Mavis Fitzpatrick and her husband are renting a house here while they look for a place to buy. But shortly after moving in, they are confronted by bizarre and disturbing activity. Mavis hears whispers in empty rooms. Objects start to move on their own. Then one night, while Mavis is sleeping, something creeps into her bedroom. Real estate agent Mavis Fitzpatrick and her husband have just moved into a house in Clyde, Ohio. They soon wish they hadn't. A hostile entity is making their lives hell. Terror-stricken, Mavis reaches out to paranormal investigator Carlo Zuzic for help.
It was one of the strangest emails I've ever received. Please, 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 please call me, and I need help, please. And then she gave me her number.
A veteran of hundreds of investigations, Carlo Zuzic is a member of ORBS, the Ohio Researchers of Banded Spirits. He knows what it's like to be plagued by ghosts.
From the time I was 8 years old, I knew I was living in a haunted house. Growing up and being tormented in my house, you know, I didn't have anybody to turn to, so I wanted to be that person for others and help them.
Carlo agrees to help Mavis and heads to Clyde with his team, including co-investigators Amy Cobb and Chris Page.
She was very desperate about having us come out and do an investigation. She just was, you know, wanted us to come out now.
The house was a normal, everyday American home until you realize the terror that's going on behind the walls.
Wanting to know what he will be going up against, Carlo asks Mavis to tell him every detail of the hauntings.
She gave us a description about the activity, where it was happening, what she experienced. And you could see it in her face, the fear. This one was terrified.
Mavis describes the woman she sees at night.
She looked very nasty. She was yelling. I mean, you could see her facial features. She was pointing at her. She had so much anger. This woman was pissed.
Carlo and his team begin the investigation.
With us coming in, you could feel this energy, this presence that's in there. The hair on your neck, the hair on your arm stands up. You feel that electricity going through you. You get the chills. That's what I was feeling going to this location.
Carlo is using a thermal imaging camera, which shows images based on temperature rather than visible light.
And I just managed to hit record. Thank God I did. I'm looking at the screen, and I see something moving towards the bedroom, and I look up. And I was like, guys, I just saw somebody walk in this bedroom. I just saw it.
Who's walking in front of us? It's no one. It's just us.
I was freaked out as well. I was looking on his thermal gun, and you could see it looked like a lady kind of hunched over like this, and like she was going inside the doorway.
I know I'm not crazy, so I played it back, and sure enough, it looks like a older, hunched over lady walking into the bedroom.
It was just so amazing. At the same time, it was scary.
Cautiously, Carlo follows the apparition into the bedroom. But he's in for a big surprise.
We looked in there, and there's nobody in there. That sent the chills right through my body. I was shocked. I know what I saw, and to me, I saw that old lady that woman was experiencing.
Suddenly, Carlo's K2 meter starts to blink. It measures electromagnetic fields associated with paranormal activity.
What was that?
And as soon as it lit up, we heard this bang. I'm like, what the hell was that?
What was that? Get up and look.
So we took off and went in the other room to find out what it was. As we entered the room, here it was a battery.
You could tell that something was thrown. I mean, because you hear it hit the wall, and then it hit the ground.
And you could see there was an indent in the wall. And it had to have taken a lot of force for her to throw that battery across the room and make the indent in the wall.
It was getting mad. It was mad that we're in its room, and now it wants us out, and it's throwing things. To me, this tells me this spirit is very strong. Her anger is at another level in the afterlife, and she's pissed off. She wanted us out.
The violent nature of the activity puts everyone on edge.
I was in fear for my crew, that if we didn't tread lightly and watch how we approached it, how we said things to this spirit that was there, that something could turn ugly, that we actually could get injured.
Her energy level's getting stronger and stronger and stronger and getting more mad.
Carlo checks the audio tapes from the time the battery was thrown. What he hears is alarming.
You could clearly hear a woman's voice say, "Get out." This spirit's warning me, to leave. At any moment, this thing could lash out and hurt me.
While investigating a haunting in a family home, Carlo Zuzic and his team have run into an angry female spirit. And now, she's threatening them from beyond the grave. Carlo suspects the spirit might have once lived in the house. He asks the current tenant, Mavis Fitzpatrick, about the previous occupants. The answer is revealing.
It was an older lady, and she was a nasty lady.
A very mean lady. She was mean to adults, to children. She would throw urine on the kids.
We believe that who you are in life is who you are in death. If you're mean and nasty in life, that's how you're going to be in the afterlife.
One day, I guess she was walking on the porch and she fell.
She laid there for 2 days, no help.
The son actually came over to check on her, and they took her to the hospital. She did die a few days later after that. That kind of traumatic experience can leave a lot of energy there. She's lived there for 40+ years. That was her home. That energy is gonna stay there. You're gonna leave that imprint behind.
With their tape recorder running, Carlo tries to contact the old lady's spirit.
We were asking questions like, why are you so nasty? What's your issue with this family here? They're a loving family. They just want to make a home. Why are you bothering them?
Why are you here?
During the session, I actually forgot the woman's name. And I was like, Bertha, or whatever your name is. I was blurting out all these names. Bertha, is that your name, Bertha? Am I right? Can you touch that green light there? You could hear this old lady's raspy voice correct me, and it says, Benita. I got the chills. I mean, the chills just ran through my whole body. I'm thinking, this woman is actually correcting me. This is an intelligent spirit. And the next thing you know, we hear toom, 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 like this banging sound. And I was like, what the hell is that?
Unsure where the sound is coming from, the team heads to the basement.
I just kind of really want to turn around and go out because it's scary. You don't know how strong the spirit is, what their intentions are.
Now, the noise seems to be coming from outside.
We ran to the porch area. There's nobody there. So we went back downstairs, and you hear it again. It's almost like her residual energy was still in that location, banging and banging and banging, trying to get somebody's attention. She's still banging. She's still trapped up there looking for help.
Worried about the hostility and strength of the spirit, Carlo and his team perform a cleansing.
Chris and I would go room to room. We'd do our prayer. I put the holy water on each location, any opening. My goal is to move the spirit out of this home, to give the family their home back.
But the ghost doesn't want to leave.
I've personally never seen a spirit this strong.
It's almost like trying to push you back as you're trying to go, and it's just like a force. It was fearful, definitely fearful.
This spirit didn't even care what we were doing. It stood its ground and said, look, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying right where I'm at. And that's where you come into a problem with spiritual warfare. They're stronger than we are.
The cleanse reduces the spirit's power, but Carlo cannot remove it completely.
When we told them the evidence that we caught, it actually reassured them that, they weren't crazy, that what they were witnessing was, truly happening to them.
I felt bad because usually that works, but when you got a strong presence like you have in that home, we may have to come back. And unfortunately, they didn't want to wait long enough. They packed their stuff, and they've only lived there 2 months, and they did end up moving.
As far as Carlo is aware, the spirit still lurks in the house.
It's its home, and that's where it stands.